Hey everybody, it's Jimmy from the DIY and Digital, and today we're finishing up that mountain scene. Welcome back everybody. First of all, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any updates like this video. So first off, I would like to address the literal elephant in the room. I am in a new space right here. I have moved my workspace into a different part of our house, and I haven't quite got into decorating it just yet, but you'll see more and more training related decorations as the weeks go on. So what we're doing today is we are finishing up the mountain scene that we started in a previous tutorial, and I will link that right up here as well as in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is where we started. This is a puffball tree covered mountain, and a lot of people will just stop right here, and I've actually done previous layouts where you stopped right here, but we're not going to. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this material called Seafoam, and Seafoam is something you may have seen in Super Trees and all that kind of stuff, but you can buy Seafoam outright. So what we do is we break apart these little seafoam stems, and they already look like little deciduous trees, which is really, really awesome. And we shape them and we prune them until we get them in the exact shape we want. Then we're going to douse them in our 50-50 white glue water mixture, which is my Scenics cement mixture. It's a pretty common one to use, and you've seen me use it plenty of times before. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to start rolling it around in our Woodland Scenics fine turf. And this is the exact same mixture that we used for doing the puffball trees themselves. I may have just messed around with the two different colors a little bit more just to make it pop, but you just roll the trees around in there until you get the coverage that you really like. Another really great technique that you can also do is you can pick up the trees and you can do sprinkling. You can sprinkle some of the material on and then you just shake off the excess, but this really gets the undersides then, so you don't have just the top of the trees covered in the material. Alright, so we have our trees made, and the first thing we want to do is we want to figure out where we want to put all of these trees, because each tree is unique and different, so it's going to fit best in a certain spot. So then I'm going to take some white glue and I'm going to brush it along the base. Now we're not going to be jamming these really hard into the plaster base. We're going to be using the puffball trees to hold them in place. Now another thing you can use is you can actually use all sorts of other trees. These are actually trees that I salvaged from my previous layout, and I actually did a tutorial on making them look more realistic, and I will put a link to that right up here as well as in the description below. Okay, so we've got our mountain looking the way it is. Now we need to get the area where we run up to the mountain looking very well. I guess it would be kind of the valley, I'm not really sure. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spread some white glue around. After that, we're going to spread some Scenic Express dirt. You can always use some homemade dirt, and I've shown you guys how to make that. I'll put a link up here as well as in the description below to that video. And you just want to get a nice even coating all over the white glue. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to soak the entire area with 70% isopropyl alcohol. And for those of you that don't use this, say this every time, this really breaks up the surface tension when you put the Scenic cement on there, as I'm doing right now. It allows it to spread out and get a nice even coating and dry and stick everything evenly. So now we're going to do something that you guys have actually never seen me do before, and I'm going to be applying static grass. Now I've got my static grass applicator, and for in scale I'm using 2mm static grass. And the way that static grass works is it creates a static charge that causes the little static blades to stand upright wherever you're making a static current. And you do have to be careful with this because you can shock yourself, as I just did right there. And it does not feel that great. But it also is the absolute best way to get a realistic grassy look. And then I take some medium turf, some coarse turf, and I just sprinkle it about to simulate some weeds. The next thing I do is I start planting some of the trees that I had salvaged from my previous layout into the area right around the base. It really, just remember, mountains don't go straight into the ground, and I actually see a lot of that with puffball trees, and it just doesn't look the best. So you really want to kind of have the wooded look so that you can have kind of a slow build up and a realistic look up into the mountains. And you can also make some more of the seafoam trees so that you can have a good mixture and everything all blends together. And here is the final look. You can see the mountain kind of blends right in with the rest. There's no abrupt stop. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. And yeah, so that's how I detail out a puffball tree mountain. That's how I detail a mountain to go beyond just simple puffball tree mountain. Personally, I'm really happy with the way it came out. I would love to hear how you guys do detailing of scenery like this. You can leave that in the comments below. And while you're at it, go and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any updates like this video. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Happy railroading!